So hey guys, it's been a while and welcome back to the Salt.
You forgot someone. Hey guys, I know you missed us. Welcome back. Sorry for the long hiatus, but we're back for Bahrain. We're back for Bahrain, guys. Okay, and we're gonna give you some juicy predictions and some hot takes.
It's been a crazy season up until here. Even though McLaren has been fast, I think
Max has been
yeah,
faster.
The driver's trash, bro.
Yeah.
Max in a tractor is beating them, bro. Crazy.
Yeah. So many crazy storylines like Lawson, Tsunoda, McLaren having
Jack Doohan.
Jack doing
Kimi Antonelli, bro. He's been
uh,
cooking.
yeah,
He's broken like so many records.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think
He's like,
in the last race, didn't he break the record of the youngest race leader?
But we had that.
yeah,
That was just because.
by 4 days.
Yeah,
By 4 days
that's
from
not
Verstappen.
huh?
And then by 4 days, I think, from Verstappen. It was like some 18 years, some 268 and 264 days, something.
That's actually insane. So I think
Yeah, by 4 days, bro. If he didn't do it in this race, it was gone, that record.
Okay.
And then he also got this thing, youngest driver to score points in like 3 consecutive races or some shit.
Oh, that's a cool stat actually. He must be
Yeah.
the youngest driver to score points in sprints also. But,
Yeah, I mean sprints, we don't count it because it
you
wasn't
don't
there
count
from.
it.
You can't say that as a Hamilton fan, okay?
Bro, I'm not telling we're not counting sprint races. I'm telling the record
Okay, yeah.
because it wasn't there from
Yeah,
like when.
yeah, it's not officially counted in the record
Fair,
book.
fair, fair.
Bro, wait, bro. Chumma is coming at me for no reason.
No, I'm trying to back our boy.
You're on the same team, man. Y'all can't be getting
Yeah,
catching
bro.
friendly fire.
I mean, yeah, but as you were saying, the stories were crazy. Even the Ferrari.
But this is what being in Ferrari does to you, bro. This is what being Ferrari fan does to you.
Yeah, I mean that Ferrari double DQ also, right? That's crazy.
Mm.
The
Bro, let's not talk about it, bro, please.
That shows you how small the margins are as well. His Leclerc's car was underweight by 1 kg, maybe even lesser. I think.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy.
Talking about
For
Ferrari,
Ferrari, we doing everything, bro.
yeah, talk about Ferrari. I feel another race that you guys don't want to remember is Australia.
Bro, leave that, bro. Leave that. The engineers, bro. Oh my God. You've seen the radio messages. Oh my God, bro.
Yeah,
Must be the water.
must be the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is
Yeah, bro.
Hamilton?
K1.
K1, use K1.
Yeah.
I think he's driven the car at that point. He had driven the car for 5-6 days.
Yeah.
I would assume a driver like him knows where the overtake button is. I don't think he needs to be told so much.
That,
Bro,
yeah, but to
not
be
that,
fair, he's
bro.
switching teams, so it does make sense. But I think you don't need to annoy
Nah,
a
bro.
7-time world champion at that level. So.
Bro, we need to get Bono back for Hamilton, bro. This new engineer is gonna mess him up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, no.
And we have a salty McLaren fan here as well. Coming off of salty Lando fan coming off of China.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him. China wasn't like that. He could have maybe been a little bit quicker, but there was not any particular mistake from him. I feel
Bro, also, before we go into the race itself, in China, like all of the cars, like the arrival was delayed by like 4 or 5 days or something. And like they had like a day or two only to assemble the cars and do that. So that was also like a great feat by the teams. So, yeah.
so I was speaking. In that Japan, Lando did have a few mistakes. Like obviously, I don't know why McLaren didn't try the undercut with him. They could have definitely tried the undercut. And that pit lane incident, I have absolutely no idea what Lando is trying there.
Yeah.
That is never gonna work. It's
I think he knew he had a faster pit stop. I think about a second. He just got a little too excited. There was no way he can actually overtake him. He just got excited. And also, yeah, it was a bad strategy call by McLaren. I think they would have had a chance if they didn't undercut. They just undercut Piastri for some reason. I don't know what they were doing. I think, yeah, challenging the inner Ferrari for one race. So I don't know.
yeah, I still don't understand what McLaren is doing. Ferrari is not helping.
Bro, every time you mention strategy, I'm getting PTSD, bro. God damn.
Oh, bro. Wet, I mean, dry tires in the wet is still too
But
funny.
yeah, going back to the Lando thing, that was some shit you try on an F1 game.
Yeah.
Trying to overtake on the
Hmm.
grid.
No, I'll give it to him.
Bro,
It was a bit unexpected because you see, it's as soon as the pit limiter was left off, Lando had a lot better launch compared to Verstappen, which I don't think he was expecting, to be fair to him. But still, he's a F1 driver. He should not be making mistakes like that.
Yeah, but to be fair, if Verstappen was doing the same thing, you all will say that's a driver for world champion, okay?
I would never.
So you can't really blame the
bro,
guy.
bro. See,
So,
first of all, before you make those, I think you should make those comments. You should go back to our previous episodes, bro. The amount
what?
of hate we put for Verstappen is crazy.
Yeah, I just want to know what did Verstappen do similar to this?
He's saying if
No, he's just
what Lando
He,
did,
he done multiple pit lane overtake incidents, right? In the exit. It was granted it was not in a race, but it was in different like quali and practice sessions.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that. Uh, I guess yeah, he should not be racing like that in the race. I mean in quali and practice, the races where you make moves like that. But obviously, when it comes to Verstappen, you can understand it. I feel there's a little bit of leeway. People have assumed that he's a driver like that. For Lando,
Hmm.
we assume more normal mistakes like messing up the start, messing up the quali
Yeah,
lap.
that's crazy.
moving on to
messing
That's
up the
crazy.
first turn. Yeah, bro. Tell
Winning.
Hey, he's not making mistakes this year, okay? At least so far, not too many. So
bro,
can't
don't
be
jinx it,
actually
bro.
throwing this
Don't
year.
do this to your team. You
Should we start counting?
there's not enough.
What this year?
Yeah,
bro,
Okay,
not enough fingers, bro. God.
Australia, the in the race where he went off. I'll give him that's not.
half half the grid went off. Okay, you can't blame him.
I'm not. I'm
There
sorry.
were
Piastri is
there were
not.
almost seven DNS. Come on,
Bro, Piastri had like a mega drive, bro. What are you saying? Like
That was
he
Piastri
dropped out
fumbled,
and
and you all
came
call him
back.
world championship material.
People
So
went
you
off.
can't really. And he won the race, so you can't really blame the guy.
yeah, but Agastya, you can't
Mm.
compare to a rookie.
Yeah,
Lando's supposed to be fighting for the.
Piastri's not a rookie.
he
Bro,
said
in that same race, even Antonelli finished P4, bro. P4 or 5, something.
Yeah, he's good in the vet, so I mean he deserves it. I mean he did a good job.
Okay, I'll give it to him.
No, 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 y'all can't catch him. He did a good job. Okay. Granted, he can do better. I mean, Japan, he could have done a little bit better, put a little bit more effort, but it's not completely his fault.
The tracks.
McLaren also could have done one more thing. They could actually swap Piastri in between when he was slightly faster, given that a shot.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have caught up to Verstappen and they probably got a 1-2. They could have tried something, but yeah, something
I mean,
was
they
just
still got a
really,
double podium now. So it's fine,
yeah.
I guess.
They're just
But
playing the safer option for constructors. That's the problem, right? They don't really care about the drivers for some reason.
well, let's move on to
Yeah.
now. The latest race. We talked about Melbourne and China already, logistics and all about China.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Suzuka. Pretty boring race. He didn't watch it. He couldn't. He had some other shit.
bro, wait, before we get into the race, the things that happened leading up to the race is like where like the actual drama was, bro.
I think we're totally forgetting about Yuki and Lawson.
Yeah.
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 What is your guys' opinion on this?
Fair.
I want.
Bro, see, I know Yuki deserves the seat. He has potential, all that. But still, bro, pulling the rug under Lawson like that, it's not fair.
Yeah. I think I was speaking to Anurag.
You see, Yuki deserved it in the first place, but if you're giving Lawson a chance, give him a proper chance, man. Y'all can't cut him off in the third race. That's a bit too harsh. But I think Yuki overall is the faster driver. He does deserve it, but what they did with Lawson is too harsh.
I
So,
mean, me and Akshat were like chatting about this. So we're, yeah, Akshat, I think
yeah,
you're saying.
when we were talking, we realized something that Lawson has actually never driven either China or Australia up until this point.
Hmm.
So that is obviously something that will hinder him quite a lot. He has to learn the track. And China was a this thing sprint weekend as well, so only one practice session. And I think he had some other issues in practice for I think it was Australia only. Yeah, Australia he had some issues, so he couldn't do one or two of the sessions. So I feel it was a bit harsh. You should have given him at least Suzuka, but it's obvious
Hmm.
why Yuki has gotten the seat into.
Bro, at least it's also you're saying 3 races. That's too fast to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like Red Bull's like having the freedom to do this only because they have two teams in the race, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
still claim to be like the two separate teams, but like from their actions, you can see that they're actually functioning as just one with
Yeah.
like 4 seats.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
Mm.
fair to them, they have been quite impressive RB this season. They've
hmm,
been where
racing bulls.
anybody expected them to be. Like, I don't think anybody was expecting Hadjar to be fighting with Hamilton and the Mercs. And
Bro, Hadjar has been performing good, bro. I've been like seeing his like finishes. He's been pretty consistent with it.
yeah,
I like except the first one, but like yeah, still.
That was not very sad. I mean,
Yeah.
racing that
Bro,
far.
and like Helmut Marko, he's like saying that he's a kid for like crying and all, bro. That's like little too harsh.
yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
not really fault. Uh, like, look, everybody has had mistakes in that race. It's not like only him. I think Alonso also has had. Obviously, Alonso's was not really his fault, but mistakes were common there.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly because of the white strips, I think, because it's like a street circuit, no?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is a good time to move on to Bahrain. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is to watch.
React too much about the whole season then. Yeah. Go.
Yeah, so Bahrain, I think, is an interesting race. I think
Mm.
past few years have been quite the domination from Red Bull. Like I think they won last year. No, I think they won the last 3 or 4 years. 3 years, and I think before that was Hamilton. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting race considering McLaren's pace and Red Bull's dominance in the past. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think not to be biased, but honestly, I think this year since McLaren clearly have the faster car, they'll probably have a much better race. Ferrari, I mean, that I think they're going to bring upgrades to the track. Depending on how that works out, they might be equally fast or whatever. Merck also, I think, are quite capable. George Russell somehow ends up in the podium out of nowhere. So he's doing a good job with whatever he can. So I think there are three prospects. Red Bull, I don't think they'll be as great, I feel. Japan was a one off race. It's not that Red Bull is slow, it's just unpredictable, right? Sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. Hard car to drive. So they may be around that fast, but I don't think they'll be as fast. So I think yeah, McLaren, Ferrari, and Merc will be the faster teams.
But Red Bull also because it's Yuki's only second race. I think it'll take time for him to like settle down in the car and like understand it better.
Yeah,
Because like in RB or AlphaTauri or whatever it is called now, like he was like the top driver and the car was like built for, like towards him, and now the car in Red Bull is just built around Verstappen, and he has to adapt to it.
yeah,
Yeah,
So I think it's going to be harder for the Bulls.
that's also
Also, I think interesting will be that I think Sainz will be maybe the first race where he might be close to Albon. I mean, I think Suzuka he was kind of there, but he was not really up to pace. Maybe I think Bahrain will be the first race where we can see him somewhat close to Albon.
I mean, Red Bull also. You're making a car completely geared towards one person, completely neglecting the second driver, who obviously messes up the balance of the team itself, which
yeah.
we saw with Perez, Lawson, and now Sunoda. But Sunoda has, I think, been handling it the best so far, and it'll be exciting to see how he does.
Yeah. I think Sonoda has
Bro,
been.
also putting all the chips on one driver, I don't think has paid them off enough. Like last season, they came pretty close. Like, I mean, they clinched the drivers' championship, but still, betting all your chips on one driver is like kind of a hard thing to do, and like expect good results from it. I don't know how well it's gonna turn out for them.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But look, if you get someone like Yuki, like I feel he was a bit unlucky last weekend. Like I think his pace was really close to Verstappen. Like I don't think he's matching that Q3 lap. Obviously, that's pure magic. But
Mm.
up until Q1, I mean, up until Q2, he was pretty much there and thereabouts. He was about like two, maybe within 2 tenths every lap. So I really expected him to do better. quali, I don't know why he disappointed. He maybe just didn't get the lap together, invalidated or something. So I think he can have some positives going into next weekend, but obviously he has to keep learning on his feet. The car is still going to be super tricky to drive. So I think
Yep.
should be
And
interesting.
even in track dominance, also, there were like a 50-50 split. I was checking that graph. So Yuki, also, like, I think it was pretty great performance from him, like his first race and like dominating 50% of the track, like from Verstappen is like a pretty good start.
But again, remember,
So
that's his home circuit. He's been driving there since
yeah, I know.
starting as a kid. So we'll see
No,
next.
I'm not saying anything. Like getting that car under control is the point I'm trying to make. Because like entirely new experience for him, right? I mean, he knows the track well, but yeah, fair.
Okay. I think some other things we can put into consideration is this circuit will be like completely different from the last few in terms of temperature. If you see the Australia, it's not particularly cold, I would say, but because of the weather, it would have been relatively low in terms of temperature. China, you could literally see like the haze and all from the fog. Japan also, it's the same, very
There
similar.
was barely any graining on the tires.
Yeah, this will be a high deck circuit also because it being Bahrain.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if there has to be a race for there to be an upset or someone to be slower than expected, it will be here. But also one more thing to take into account is we saw preseason testing here also. So
Correct.
there's not much room for like development or improvement for the certain teams.
Yep.
Yeah, but to be fair, preseason testing also was weirdly cold this time, right?
Yeah,
It was not the usual Bahrain, so you could still, I mean, to
Yeah.
your point, you could see some slight differences, but yeah, it may not be as much.
I think
I mean, it wouldn't be substantial enough to like change the orders, right? I mean, it would be like increasing or decreasing lap times probably, but yeah.
This is one track where probably um, strategies will come into play much more because of
because the deck.
yeah, and
Yeah,
training obviously on the tires will be much more.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends on how you set up your car also more. It depends on a lot of things. And on that note, I think we should get to the prediction, right?
Yeah.
My first prediction of 2025, we have it's a new championship, free like for everybody to win.
Sounds like a loser talking.
Yeah, it is, it is. But you know what? 2025 my year. Um,
Bro,
one Agastya, P2, him, and P3 is shared, right?
No, you
hey,
flip.
hello. P3 was mine. Okay.
The
P3
coin.
was well deserved mine.
You are
You
beat.
flipped the coin.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
P2. But that doesn't matter. It's a new year, new me. And let's get on with the
Bro,
prediction.
that's what Ferrari also did, bro. Bro, how much they've aura formed like throughout the like preseason, bro. And like only for the first race to end up like that was crazy. Throughout they posted like short film also leading up to the race.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
And then
it's. I'll give it to them. It looks really cold, but with this performance that they've been dropping, like apart from that one China sprint, they've been uh not good.
Yeah. So now that we're done leading into it, let's do our prediction. So first off, we have our quali, then we have our race predictions, and then we have a hot take for each of us, which is basically the craziest shitty take you can ever have.
Hot take.
Hot takes, yeah. Okay, let's start off with quali, and let's start off with our P1.
Let's go in championship
bro,
order.
wait. I need like a little bit of clearance on hot takes, bro. Again, I'm not flipping a coin this season and all. You tell the rules for hot takes now only.
Okay, the rules is it should be completely unexpected.
Yes.
Like it should be true or false. True.
It has to come true. Why else will you get a point?
Yeah, I know, bro.
It should
Uh,
be-
let's go in championship order for this one. So P1, Agastya, tell me your.
want to go first? We're doing quali first, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. P3. George Russell, P2, Piastri, P1, Norris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Next we have
Me,
him. Yeah.
take my glasses off, pretty serious.
Period.
No, so I think the Red Bull being quick the past few years, it will definitely come to their advantage. I don't think Sonoda's doing anything with it, to be honest. But I think Max, I think, will be on pole. I think Piastri second and Lando third.
Out of McLaren, I see.
Fair, fair.
Anurag, tell me.
For me, I think George Russell will be P1.
Oh,
Yeah, bro. Bro, see, honestly, in testing, he's had pace, so that's the only basis for my claim.
okay.
P2, I think Max. P3, Charles.
Oh, no
So
McLaren.
yeah,
That's crazy.
nah.
I wouldn't take that West Ham.
Bro, you'll see how many points he'll score, then you'll see.
Yeah, bro. We saw how many your driver did this time.
Yeah,
Chumma
you
P1, they've
saw
lost and
championship
come
who won.
back. Yeah,
Prediction
bro.
championship who won last year.
Exactly.
Prediction
Oh, talk about
championship, we
that.
leave, bro. Drivers championship, you talk. How much you've
What
glazed them
I
throughout that.
what I can control, I'll speak. I can't control Norris winning, right? So I'll speak about my prediction first.
Yeah. Uh, he pulled out that
Yeah,
thought
that's all.
without anything. Let's move on. Mine, I think we go for on pole. I think it's going to be Norris. P2, I'd give it to Max, and P3, I'll give it to Leclerc.
Okay. Ferrari
Fair.
Max.
So basically, except my P1, like me and Wade's prediction is still the same again.
There's no way this is happening. No, he had you have Russell on pole. He has
Yeah, he
Norris.
said except that.
Yeah. Yeah, except that the remaining the same. That's what I said, bro.
Yeah. We have our quality predictions done. Feel free to drop down yours also in the comments, all your predictions. Let's move on to race. Like I said, start us off.
Yeah, so it could be either Piastri winning or Norris winning, depending on who has a better day. Frankly, I think it will be a McLaren 1-2 because even in pre-season testing, they showed a very good race pace in Bahrain. So I think Norris also done a pretty good, has good history of the track. He's pretty decent with Bahrain, so I think Norris will win. P2 Piastri. P3, however, I feel Max, if he qualifies like P4, P5, P6 also, he's pretty good. So I think we can't rule him out. So I think P3 will be Max.
Okay.
And again, as Agastya said, through testing, we saw how good McLaren's tire wear was at Bahrain. And obviously, I know that you can say the weather it might change, but I think it'll still stay pretty similar. So I would say Piastri P1, Norris P2, and Verstappen P3.
Piastri, Norris.
Yes, just
Fair.
the top four switch between me and Agat.
Fair. Anurag.
Yeah, so for me, I think it would be Verstappen P1, Norris P2, and Leclerc P3. So yeah. Bro, I think Verstappen P1 because like he's won like the last 2, 3 races in Bahrain, right? So I'm just going off that.
But
So yeah.
the only thing I'm scared about is that McLaren tire wear, bro, because that is looking crazy in testing.
Yeah, I know. But like still, Max also has like a pretty good understanding of the track still, so I'm going off that. And I'm still like placing McLaren's at P2 because of that and like P3.
Yeah. I mean, you can't write off the McLaren's kind of crazy car.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying Max because of his experience around the track.
Yeah.
And their history. I'm going off stats here. So
Okay. My race predictions now. Okay. I'd say I'll give P1 to Max. Max, and then Lando, and then PS.
That's crazy.
But,
I
you
think
know, if
Bro,
Max,
Wade's copying me, bro. He wants that P3. Last
he
time he's
wants that
making up for it.
Are you agreeing for P1? You're not even agreeing
No,
about
I'm going for P1. You're going for P3, bro.
only 3W.
You're piggybacking off me so you can get to P3. I see you, bro.
We'll see.
I mean,
We'll
if
see,
Max
guys.
finishes higher than Lando this race, he will take over the championship lead,
Yeah.
and I
It's
think
only
he
1
will
point.
run away with. Yeah, it's only 1 point difference, so
I think Max
he's
is
done a good job.
Max for the title, Max for president, Max for God.
Bro, make Dutch national anthem the F1 theme, bro. That's all.
I think Max for God is not that hot of a take, actually. Moving on, I think we can
Bro,
start.
yours was tapping for God, bro. Not Max.
Happened for Red Bull's second seat. Okay.
Moving
He's
on.
the only one who can beat Max, bro.
Moving on, I think Agastya, let's have your hot take for the weekend.
Hot take, huh?
But has been
Okay,
something unexpected.
I think Science will do better than Albon for the first time this season.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'd say there's a 70-30 chance of that.
It's
70 it happening, 70 not happening.
not
70 it's not happening.
Oh, fair enough.
I guess 75-25. Yeah. Yeah, it's a hot take. Can't have. The red signifies hot. I think this weekend, I think Lawson will beat Tsunoda.
That's not a hot take.
That's
I was going to say that, but that's not a hot take. Yeah.
That's not a hot take.
I
He already beat Tsunoda
when
last week, Tsunoda Suzuka.
No, no, he didn't. Not in the race, only in quali.
in the race.
P1 position.
Let's see this.
Cut.
No, there is no cut for this.
No, cut.
There's no cut. I want everyone to see I'm
I might be
embarrassing.
wrong. I might be wrong.
When?
Was it quali he was one above?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I said the race.
Yeah, quali he was about, not in the
Okay,
race.
cut.
Oh, wow.
Cut that whole bit of
No,
me.
no,
Say
no,
absolute
this
bullshit.
Lost
Bro,
in
no, that's
17.
staying in, bro.
Vatla, what's your one crazy take for the weekend?
Bro, I think George Russell might win off the race, bro.
Hey, how you're putting same?
That's
No, it's okay. Let him do it.
Who told that?
lose both the points.
It's the same thing, but it'll be tougher for you to like win.
Yeah, you lose both the points.
Yeah, you lose both.
But if Russell wins, he gets double.
It's a gamble.
That's also true. Yeah.
Bro, yeah, I think. Wait, bro. Then let me think.
If you believe in it, then go for it.
Do I
Back your
believe
ball,
in
bro. Back your
George
ball.
Russell enough?
No,
Yeah,
back.
bro. Okay, bro. I let it be in, bro. Trust.
Oh,
Okay.
ouch, now it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Go big or go home, bro.
Okay, now moving on.
My hot take is Hamilton to beat Leclerc for the first time.
That's expected. And he's already beaten.
Bro.
Yeah, Hamilton's already beaten.
Bro, this guy is such a fake Hamilton fan, bro.
For the
Bro,
first
this guy is
time in
not.
an actual race, I mean, okay.
I heard that. I'm only hearing the first statement after the race and all. I'm not hearing.
Let's see. Oh wait, he has a
Guys, this is a hot take.
Bro, I think it's not as crazy.
But it's not hot enough to be a hot take, bro.
Okay, fine, I'll switch it up.
No, bro. Let him actually keep it in, bro.
Because he's already kind of beaten him before, that's why.
So that I can
It was not like he was not like so off. It's if you
No,
said like
I'm only saying
Lawson
that
was
because of
gonna beat
Hamilton
Verstappen and Red
bias.
Bull have taken it. Like.
That's not gonna happen. Lawson was that how he's saying now?
Bro,
Give an
that's not
example.
hot take, bro. That's global warming.
I know that's not gonna happen.
Lava take there.
Yeah, da.
Bro, that's not lava also, bro. That's like one global warming shit he's putting over there.
Bro, if it happens somehow, it's like Verstappen somehow gets killed or like thrown off the track. Don't tell me anything.
Bro, if Lawson has that mentality, bro, I'm telling you, next Lightning McQueen he'll become.
Correct. Absolutely.
Why is he in love with that film?
That's what got him into driving.
Well, it's crazy. That one, 2007 cartoon has got him into an F1 seat. Is crazy.
Bro, it happened, no, that's all.
Life
That's why
story.
McQueen's the GOAT, bro.
Anyways, don't forget to tune in with our post-race podcast and do watch the race. I think it's definitely going to be a good one. I think everybody here agrees with me.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good note to end on. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like,
guys.
share, subscribe, do everything.
Do all that, bro. We're on Spotify also, bro. Check on Spotify also.
Check out our
Spotify, Instagram, everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bro.